What's up, y'all? You're off in God's Country with Reid
and Dan Isbell,
also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the great outdoors. Two things that go together like free beer and a country music festival in Texas.
Or having a happy wife and having a happy life. Produced by MeatEater and iHeart Podcast.
We've got Kameron Marlowe in the studio today, and I will say it right now. I said it on the podcast. Dude's got the best voice in Nashville, man.
Killer.
He's a killer.
Yeah, he really is.
He's
Natural singer. Grew up on Hoobastank, I guess.
Yeah, from North Carolina. Good dude. We've known him for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He cut some of our songs on past records and got a record dropping now. Keeping the Lights On. Be sure and go check it out. Spin it. And
Carolina boy.
He's
deep off in that OBX stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that what you call Outer Banks?
Yeah, OBX is Outer Banks. Loves to fish. Loves the outdoors. Kameron Marlowe. Go check it out. Hope you enjoy it. Peace. So far this morning, we were 10 minutes late. I've spilt my water on my shoes.
Broke a microphone.
I broke a microphone. And
we got Kameron Marlowe.
And we got Kameron Marlowe
What's up, y'all?
on the couch. Luckily, it's a buddy, man. It's not some it's not somebody that we don't know that's like judging us from the jump.
Yeah, I'm starting to judge you though.
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It's just there's this weird little like thing that happens in your stomach when you sit down with somebody or when I sit down and we have somebody that I don't know at all. Because it's like, you know how it is, like as a like creative, you're like, oh man, I'm fixing to ruin this. But then because you're like, I don't know
how
this
to call
could go really
anyway.
great, or this could be the worst thing. You just forget everything that you kind of know. But then
it's kind of like a co-write with somebody you've never written with before. That
when the conversation gets over and it's time to like start throwing ideas or sounds, and you're like,
so what do you guys feel like doing today?
How's the rest of my day gonna go?
But no, we're coming off. The voices are a little weak, a little scraggly this morning. I could have slept till 4 this afternoon. We're coming off of we just got back from iHeart Country
weird coffee
Music Festival. Weird cinnamon coffee this morning.
Today.
It's just it's a Monday.
Did you get good coffee?
I did. I got a great cup of coffee.
Good.
But here's the deal: like
That's all that matters.
we're homebodies, bro. We're dads. It's turkey season, so like we've been in the groove of turkey hunting, and we flew.
Bass are on the beds, dude. It's like
do what?
Bass are on the beds.
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
bass are biting.
It's the time to not be traveling to cities.
But it felt like we were artists this weekend. Like and we were talking. Me and Cam were talking about when we got here. Like it's the first time I've ever been thrown into the gauntlet of the artist weekend schedule. And bro, more power to y'all, dude. More power to you.
The worst part I feel like is the red carpet. Doing the red carpet and doing all the interviews, like in the red carpet section, I feel like that's got to be the hardest part of the whole thing.
We got stumped. I got stumped. Reid was actually pretty smooth about it. But when we did it and they were asking us random questions, it would be like, the problem is there's 2 of us, right?
Yeah.
So they'd be like, who's your dream podcast guest? Reid killed it. He was like Joe Diffie, which was great.
Yeah.
That way you don't hurt anybody's feelings because he's not alive anymore, So he goes.
But that actually is.
I'm not saying it was great. It was a great answer.
It is mine.
He came up with a great answer.
Bro, it was such a great answer that I was like, man, he's crushing this. And so then he finishes, like completes the thought, and she goes, and I was like, yep.
Happened a few times.
I was like, he just said, we don't both have to answer. You know what I mean? Like, Joe Diffie too. You know what I mean? When I was supposed to, it was a great answer. So like the duality of it, having to try to manage both things got squirrely throughout the thing.
But like as a viewer of that iHeart Music Festival, or if you're on social media and you're seeing those red carpet clips.
Wait, shout out iHeart! Thanks for having us. We had a great time.
Oh, dude,
that's so much. Oh my gosh,
it was. I don't think it could have gone any better. It was awesome, and we got to meet everybody and kind of meet a lot of the team. Grace didn't get to go with us. We were bummed about that. But she was living her dream. Where'd you go to?
Oh,
yeah, she went to Atlanta. She went to Atlanta for Shaking Knees and Seaweeders, so we gave her the pass.
Did they play Buddy Holly?
I bet that place erupted.
Encore.
Oh yeah, I bet it went nuts.
Damn. Say It Ain't So. Oh man, the hits. They played the hits.
It ain't so.
Jam. I think we've already done this. We've done this.
But when you're watching those things and you see the red carpet, you see like the people on the red carpet and the stuff back, you as a viewer, you think all that stuff happened before the show. Like before the festival
Yeah.
and before people were playing and all that stuff goes down. And then everybody gets to go enjoy the show. So they were asking us, they were like, who are you excited to see tonight? And I was like, Brothers Osborne. Well, I didn't even get to see Brothers Osborne because
They were playing while you said that answer.
that's what I'm saying. So like the way it works is like we got there at 11:30, 12, and we started doing artist interviews. Dude, they had this sick iHeart built God's Country, this like sick backdrop that was like we were camping.
And like
that's cool.
mountains and
it had like it was like
stars.
mountains and like
Yeah, it was crazy.
like lights, those porch lights you know your wife gets, your girlfriend gets and puts on your porch and turns on that you sit at once in your
They
you know
get
like a
dusty
year.
and spiders.
Yeah,
go on
and they
them
don't work because they get rained on and stuff.
Yeah,
they had
sick,
those.
sick,
They had
sick.
those up, and then like prop guitars and little camping chairs. And
Then she invites her family over, and she's like, "Turn the lights on." And you're like, "They don't work." She's like, "What? I just bought those." And you're like, six years ago. She's like,
Yeah.
"You got time to run to Lowe's? Go." That's how that works.
So we did like the artist would play, and then the crowd was just kind of going from like there's the stage. It was a side stage outside. It's called the Village. They would go to that, and then they'd come to us, and because we were interviewing, as soon as the artists would get them, they'd walk over, and then we'd do like a little 5-minute thing. Yeah. So we did that for like every artist. It was Ashley, Kelsey Hart, a bunch of those, you know, those cats, Chris Lane, Walker Hayes. I guess I gotta say them all now. Riley,
Bobby Bones,
Chase Matthew came. Bobby Bones was he walked over there. We didn't even know he was coming. It was cool. But so we did that from like 12 to 4. And they're like, all right. They were like, okay, are you guys
so?
They're like, are you guys hungry?
Dude.
Oh yeah,
It was like it's hot, humid day.
Oh, that's the worst, man.
Cloud cover.
And you're in Texas. I mean, Texas is already humid as all
Bro.
get out. So.
But dude, talk about some
Texas
country
is hot.
fans,
Oh yeah, man.
bro. They come out and
Absolutely.
man. They don't They don't care.
No,
You
they
gotta
don't.
tell. You gotta talk. We gotta talk about the chair sitters. So we had
Chair sitter.
So we had 4 little like camping chairs. Well, they weren't little; they were awesome actually.
Yeah.
We had 4 of them, and then for some reason on the set, like way off to the side, there was like one more.
It was sitting beside a canoe, like a legit canoe
Okay.
that was full of beer. They brought like it was free beer, so like free beer and country concert.
We're
goes
like, you guys are
together,
gonna
like,
run out
yeah.
in 6 minutes, and they did. But it was awesome.
But this
there
chair was sitting kind of off to the
was
side.
same kind of chair we were
Yeah, it was
sitting
a
in.
camping
Yeah.
chair.
So it's sitting off the side with this lady. As soon as the gates open, just kind of
She's literally the first one that was in the beer line.
comes over, gets her cold beer, hits the chair. Does not
move.
The whole time.
Bro, from 12 to 5:30.
Like 6 or 7 hours.
Just making
was
a
like-
mound
she
of
was over
beer
there like
cans
this. She was
around
like-
her.
She was chilling.
Like everybody's playing like 40 yards away, dude. She's like,
And whoever she came with was just walking around,
I
and she was
guess. I
not
don't know
giving
if
her
she was
seat.
by
dude.
herself.
so
It was-
funny.
She would go to the bathroom and she'd take off her hat and her purse and her shoes, and
Oh,
she'd
and
put
leave
it.
it there?
She'd like clump,
oh, I
like
didn't
clump
see
it
that.
up in the
I didn't know
chair,
she. I
so
didn't see
nobody
her
would get it.
literally ever get up.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I think the best part of the iHeart was trying to get home because we were like, okay, this.
well, hang
song
on, bro. We
going-
got to get through more of the day.
Yeah, we got to talk more about that.
Like, yeah,
Okay,
dude.
go. You
I'm
go,
just
you go.
saying, like,
I'm trying to wrap it up here.
we're relating the chaos it is behind the scenes at those things that the country fan and viewer does not see.
Okay.
And we went straight from that. We went and podcasted with Ranger. They were like, "You hungry?" I was like, "I'm starving." They were like, "Here's a bar," because that's all the time you got.
Beef jerky
Cliff
got me.
bar, yeah.
Got me through with the
We
beef
went
jerky.
podcast with
Yeah,
Ranger.
Cliff bars. They're always
Ranger-
Cliff bars.
Always. They're always dry as all get out.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you're trying to podcast and you're spitting pieces out. You know,
Talk.
Granger was awesome. We podcasted with him in this like makeshift closet in the Moody Center up where they store the chairs. So that was sick.
Yeah, sick.
And then we went and ate dinner, and then we presented. So like we had to walk out on stage. We were like
I
doing,
forgot.
Isn't
about
that a stressful job?
bro. Especially
Oh, man.
when Bobby Bones is getting ready to do his bit next to the stage,
We're
and,
buddies with him, by the way. Like we kind of hung out. a
and they
couple
give
times.
you mics, and they're like, they're like, hey, 4 minutes, T-minus 4 minutes, and we're like, okay. And Bobby turns around and goes, "You guys nervous?" And we're like, "Yeah." He goes, "You should be." He's like, it's no big deal. It's just millions of people that are watching on Hulu live stream, and
like,
it's
it'll
going to
only-
live on the internet forever. He's like, that feeling you're getting in your chest, that tightening feeling, that scared, feared feeling. He's like, it's supposed to be there.
I was like, hey man, literally curtains like right here.
Oh man.
They're going like, brother, presenting the brother's son, blah, blah, blah. And he's in our ear like, you should be nervous.
Yeah.
Well, I can't read, so I'm already nervous as can be. And I'm like looking at, like trying to read words off a teleprompter. I got like squint, can't see it. Oh,
That's
dude.
what Granger said. Granger was like, if I give you one advice, it was don't look at the crowd, read verbatim what's on the teleprompter. Don't try to get cute. You know?
That's absolutely true.
Shine, my wife recorded it with my little boy standing there, and you can just see me coming out. I go, oh man, isn't it so cool to be here at iHeart?
You guys having fun?
You guys having fun? And everyone's like, "Wah." You know, it was.
That's a lot of people, though. I mean, that's 15.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
15. What's the most people you've ever like stood on a stage and played in front of?
Luke Combs was gracious enough to have me on the Superfest, and luckily for me, nobody was going to be there in my time slot, but it rained and everybody flooded into the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and there was like, I think it was 30,000 people when we got up there on the stage, which was crazy. So that was probably the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's a giant crowd. That's a giant crowd. But yeah, so we get through all that. We do the red carpet. We do the interviews backstage. We don't get to see anybody perform, and then it's time
Jelly Roll,
and then it's time to go home.
We get Jelly Roll in there, talk to him for a minute. He's awesome.
I say home. We go to the hotel.
We're like fumes at this point. I mean, just kind of brain dead. And so I'm like, hey, we better hit it, because when this thing releases, it's going to be uber chaos.
Oh yeah,
you know. So Jumps gets on her phone. She's like, I got an Uber coming. I was like, cool. I look, we're like half a mile away from where we're supposed to meet the thing. So we start walking. We cross University of Texas campus. We kind of get over there. It's like under some underpass. There's like folks rolling dice under there. We're like, ooh, this is getting sketch. You know, there's like,
let me get in. I got a couple dollars.
So
throw some quarters.
She's like, oh, they canceled. She's like, got us another one. 12 minutes go by.
Dropped us.
Dropped us. Gets another one. It's like, it's just not looking good.
I was like, there's some bird scooters right there.
We bird scootered all weekend, bro.
That's why we were like 15 minutes late to the set of the Village, because Dan was like, I got us an Uber. And I was like, no, dude, let's bird. I didn't know that it was like 2.5 miles away, and there were other festivals and the roads shut down, and it was terrible.
So y'all are braver than me. I used to be a big bird scooter guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You a birder, bro? You birded?
I used to love it. And then I hit a pothole, I kid you not, about that big. And it threw me over the handlebars out in the middle of Demumbrian and broke both my wrists.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Wait, actual
so
broke?
I remember this.
Walked around with a cast on this one and a splint on this one. I couldn't play guitar. Couldn't do anything. So I was like, this is the worst.
Bro, you should.
I will not get back one.
You don't never need to ride a bird again.
No, man.
I've seen videos of that.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a viral video of a woman on Broadway, like leaving Tootsie's or something.
Yeah,
and it was like, and all of a sudden you see her hair in her bag.
I love the old,
all over the
old squibbly wheel starts happening. When you start seeing that, it's like Reid and Jumps tried a 2-man one, you know, and so they were going out through there. I saw it go like, and I was like, oh, squealy wheel.
I feel like they're faster. I feel like they want you to wreck or something.
I know, man. They are quick.
They're designed to.
But they have no shocks. So as soon as you hit something, it's all over.
Oh, bro, I was having to get like in an athletic stance at some of those spots. It was like, cut.
The knees.
Keep on rolling.
All right, go ahead with the.
So we get over there. No Ubers will come get us. I'm like, man, we're gonna have to freestyle this to get home.
Yeah.
And so I look, and there's like a little chain rope kind of fence thing going on behind me. Situation was like probably 50 yards. There was just this line of these rickshaws, right, of like dudes on bikes with the cabs in the back. And I was like, I'm gonna try it. So I went over. I was like, hey man, can you take 4? He's like, no, I'm going to take 3, man. And I was like, well, what about that guy? He's like, hey, you want to take these guys to the Marriott downtown? He was like, yeah, I'll do it for $50. He's like, it's going to cost you $100. I was like,
let's go.
So we were like whipping through Austin. I'm sitting
Dude,
in the back of this
Rickshaw in 2024 is way easier. Like they were literally on those electric bikes. So
I'll be honest with you, I don't know what a rickshaw is.
So you got like a bike that turns into like a 3-wheeler, and the people sit in the back where they got bikes. And
I got what you're saying.
That kind of cat. I think
they used to have to actually like pedal them though. Now it's like, you know, they're just chilling.
Basically on a moped.
Was yours cut? Yeah, it is. It is. Was yours cutting corners like mega sharp?
No, ours guy was pretty cool.
Our guy was
guy was flying. Y'all left us, man.
He was flying.
Yeah,
he had some Bill Withers on us. We were like jamming. It was fun.
So that was and then in the airport, I was
the airport is the worst part of the travel by a long shot.
Especially when you have a spring blade in your carry-on that you don't know about.
Dude.
Here's the deal. This thing got through Nashville and got to Austin. It was on the plane that I didn't even know. We went to turkey camp.
Shout out to TSA.
Yeah. B&A, do a better job. And let me get on the TSA pre-check again, because I think the books.
I got pre-check, bro. I just straight through.
But we went to turkey camp a couple weeks ago, and I threw this in there. I thought I've been getting on my keys. I've got a little key with a knife in it that looks like a key, but it's actually a knife. Yeah. That thing's been getting through security forever. Yeah. So when we got it to Austin, I was like, I want
to give everybody these great ideas.
I'm not sure we're supposed to. Yeah, no doubt.
When we got to Austin to the airport, I was like, I wonder if that key. I always think to myself, I wonder if that key will make it through again, because it's kind of like undefeated, like nobody's caught it. So my bag comes through, it goes on the thing. I'm sitting there waiting for it, and all of a sudden you see it just go, woof, woof, behind the glass, and you're like, pff. So I was like, oh, they got my key. So they're looking, they go into the pocket where my keys are, and I was like, yeah, they got it. About that time, that dude pulls this out, and he goes, and I was like, no, it's my favorite. It's literally my favorite knife I got.
How the hell do you still have it?
Well, they let me just check my bag. Oh, okay. I think they're gonna fine me like $500 or something. But it's way better than when I took my pistol through on my honeymoon and got fined $1,500.
Are you gonna let Kameron talk today, or is it just about
sorry,
you?
I'm just catching up.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I go through TSA and I'll try and check my guitar, and they have to pull it out. So I'm coming back from Key West this weekend. Funny story enough. I'm going through TSA, put my guitar through. They have those new machines where your guitar don't go through.
Are you coming from Key West? Or
no, I'm leaving Key West, coming back to Nashville.
So you're the Key West Airport?
Yeah.
Okay. So little bitty thing.
Yeah, a little bitty thing. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, already ill to be up.
Yikes.
So they pull my guitar, and they're like, well, we have to hand check it. I was like, go for it. So I have to pull everything out of there. And
do you take a nice one, or do you take a beater?
Well, this time I took a nice one for some reason.
Okay.
I just didn't have any beaters with me.
Sure.
So pull it out and everything. They swab it. They said, this has gunpowder residue. I said, how? Colby's standing there with me, and I'm like, how? I don't know what I've been doing. I've been in Key West.
Popping over it like
yeah. So they have to give me the full pat down, the whole deal, whole nine. Yeah. Standing there in front of everybody. And like, he's waiting beside me over there, and they're like, no, sir, you got to back up. And like, they're going through all my bags, ripping it out. Of course, like by the end of the trip, I've just got everything stuffed in there.
Yeah.
They open it up, it freaking explodes
dirty
everywhere.
Underwear,
Exactly.
Love it.
I was like, man, this is a great way to go home. I was already ill to be at the airport in the first place.
So how was Key West? You walk us through that experience.
Wait, I don't got to know, how did gunpowder get on this?
I don't know. They said, oh, well, sometimes other things can set it off as gunpowder. And I was like...
like forearm sweat? What are you talking about?
Dust?
Yeah.
What gets on guitar? I mean, because you literally case it when you're done with them.
Yeah, I have never had that problem before.
Somebody must have been busting caps before you got to the venue and played.
That's exactly what it was.
Bust guns.
Raining
got
down.
Kameron Marlowe to
that's
throwing 40s in
the air. Everybody get your guns out. Cameron's coming on. That's awesome. Man. Sorry that happened.
How many shows did you play down there?
I did one show and then had another event with some radio folk, just kind of promoting this new single we got coming and stuff. And so that was a blast, man. We had a good time. We did a whole round with
who'd you play with?
Alana Springsteen and Tyler Reeve.
Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah. Is that your first Key West? Have you been down there before?
I've been down there quite a few times.
I've never
come back the same. I just come back with just a little bit more hurt on my upper right side where that liver is.
Well, they ask every year, but I just tell them it's turkey season. We're not going.
Yeah, same.
Same. Les is like, thinking about BMI this year. I'm like,
thinking about opening weekking. Actually, that's what I'm thinking
I'll be against the oak tree getting bit by ticks.
So, bro, you've been busy, man. It's been a minute since we've seen you.
I know.
You've gotten engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nominated for an ACM award.
Crazy.
Big dog. Played over 200 shows in the last couple of years.
That's why we hadn't seen you.
Yeah,
they don't let me off the bus, man. I just live there now.
Dude, we went one weekend, bro. I'm done. I think I'm retired from traveling.
I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty good advocate for artists that come on the show. Like after going, that's another thing, because I was out with Luke last year. Like, dude, y'all earn every penny y'all make, dude. It is, and you too, man. I mean, that's tough out there, bro. It's tough.
It's a rough job.
It's a grind,
but
bro.
it's fun. Like,
Sure.
don't get me wrong. Like, it's a blast.
Yeah.
But it's a ass whooping. It really is.
Yeah.
And
At least you're getting to do music at the end of it.
Yeah.
You
Like,
know,
that's the fun part.
and
of the
not
day.
I'm not gonna talk about any other business, but music is great. I'm not gonna slam any other business. But at least you get to do music at the end of it. When's the wedding?
So we're going May 24th or April 24th, 25.
Okay, so got a little bit.
Got a little bit. We still have yet to get that planning process really started. So
Yeah, 'cause you
we're
don't-
big procrastinators. So
We
we'll just
also
figure
don't
out
have-
what happens when we get there.
You're creative. Yeah, you're a songwriter. We get it.
you got a pretty good idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to say some things. She's going to cry.
Yeah.
You're going to kiss, and then hey,
You're gonna live happily ever after.
Exactly.
What's the? Have you gotten any like great wedding advice? Have you gotten any wedding advice?
I don't think I've gotten any wedding advice. So please share some if y'all.
Dan, give him some wedding advice. Give a young lovebird some advice.
Let me think. Happy wife, happy life is legit.
No doubt.
For me, keeping it like on the straight and narrow is deciding on what is a big deal and what isn't. Because here's the thing.
Which deal to high? Which
Here's the thing.
What do you
Okay,
say?
Jordan.
Which hill to die on? That's my wife, by the way. If you didn't know
Here's
that. Say that
Jordan.
every time.
Let's role play for a second. So, give me something that you're mad about. Just with
Right
Reid,
now.
with Reid normally.
Turkey season.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I thought we were
So does that
role-playing.
mean time? Does that mean like give me a specific what? That's kind of a broad stroke. Let's say a Saturday that you want him to build your garden thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Done.
So-
Did it. Already
Okay,
done.
so here we go.
We're role playing. Stop being so
Yes,
sensitive.
seriously, calm down. So I'm gonna leave Reid out of this because it could actually turn into a thing.
I'm gonna push my mic away.
So it's okay. So say to me, are you gonna do the garden thing in the morning?
Hey, I heard you and Dan talking on the phone last night about
Yep.
going to West Tennessee this weekend about and turkey hunting.
Seems oddly specific, but okay.
But we've talked all week this week
Uh-huh.
about going to Home Depot on Saturday
Right.
morning and taking the kids for donuts, stopping by the park on the way
Oh, see,
home.
now you're making him look like an asshole.
This is not true, by the way. None of this happened.
Well, some
We're
of it.
role playing.
I was there.
thought.
Some of it happened.
I'm coming up
Reid,
with a specific
stop.
instance.
You're out of talk. All right, go.
Hey, don't.
Go. All right. All right.
Everyone, Reid is a wonderful husband.
Okay,
I'm a
right,
very
right,
lucky
here we
girl.
go. So
Garden's built.
Gardens built. And figured we would stop by the park on the way after. Griffin's really wanting to go swing. And figured once we get home, eat lunch, put him down for a nap, and we could actually plant
this
the
is
garden.
a whole planned weekend. Okay. Yeah. Sure. So obviously you heard me and Dan talking last night about going turkey hunting. How, on a scale from 1 to 10, how big of a deal is this for you to get that garden planted?
I think that I could compromise with us maybe doing it Sunday after church.
1 to 10, how big of a deal is it?
Pause. Hold on. I feel like bringing the number system in there is going to get you in more trouble.
It doesn't. It
See,
doesn't
now that
because
feels
here's what
That's
it
that's a Dan thing. We don't use the numbers.
we use the number system, and you asked me for advice. I'm trying to.
All right,
saying.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah.
So how big? So from 1 to 10, how big of a deal is it that we get that garden
Hey, bro,
planted
take
this
this
weekend?
at your own. You know
This
what I'm saying?
weekend, it's an 8 because
Okay, see, boom, you immediately know that's a way bigger deal to her than.
But what's your number?
Well, for me, it's a 3, right?
No.
So
I
you
get that.
go. So you get to the average. The average.
But what's the number
is
that
zero.
you flip? Like, what's the number that you're like, hey, 7.5? Or
I mean,
I think
for
I'm going to
me-
West Tennessee.
I mean, with my
I'll deal with the
wife,
repercussions.
with my wife, it's a 5, dude, because
you just flipping that coin.
well, she's spicy, bro. So that would average out to a 5. It's a 3 to me. I don't care. I could care less about getting that garden planted, but I'd like.
Oh,
to
so
do
this is
it.
the whole equation. So
It's a
you're
whole
doing
equation. It's a whole equation. So now I take her number, I take my number, I average them out, and I go, okay, well then in our relationship, I need to get this done. So then you build a compromise. As to where if she had said, it's like a 3, and mine's a 3, well now we're super low. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll knock it out Monday. But if it's you see what I'm saying? There's like an law of averages that like if it's a huge deal to her, it's not a big deal to you, but you need to know whether it's a big deal to her or not.
I think you made up law of averages, but I would just say be honest with her.
Yeah.
Just
I like that one.
yeah, dude. Just
Jeez,
be
man,
open.
Don't ask me for
Just
advice.
be open and honest, bro. I'm telling you, don't try to hide your purchases or anything like
Oh,
that.
don't
Just
try
like-
to hide anything.
Yeah, don't try to
That's
hide
not
anything.
worth it at all.
I'm talking about phone email password, phone,
because
just let
like
'em-
it's easy when they can break up with you because but when you're married, you don't break up. like you live together and you don't speak for a few days, and it's hell.
Yeah.
So
Shine used to go through my phone a couple times, and then she was like, "No, it's just a bunch of deer pictures." She's like, "I don't go through it anymore. It's no fun. It's boring."
What was she trying to find?
She's snooping, man. You know how that goes, man. They snoop every now and then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was snooping through Cheyenne's phone probably once every 3 months, and there's nothing in there.
You go snooping?
Yeah, just for fun. Just for like, if she's asleep, it's late, I'm bored. And she knows this. This is not an uncommon thing.
So you know, like, y'all know passcodes.
Do you read our text messages where we talk about y'all?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know how we
I already knew. I already know.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna be snooping now.
It's the same thing.
If there's secret text threads
There's
about
nothing in there that you don't already know. I promise. And you're finally, it actually puts me to sleep pretty quick because I'm like, this is boring.
All right, enough of that. Just happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Be honest. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we read that you do an annual fishing trip with your grandpa.
Yeah.
Dad and your fam.
Hey, I didn't know that.
In the Outer
I thought I
Banks.
knew everything about you. I didn't know that.
Is that the Outer Banks?
Yeah, we go out to the Outer Banks. We chase red drum out there. So we do about 5 to 6 days usually if we can get time. Usually I have a show that I have to fly from and then try and drive it. It's always chaos. But once I get down there, it's probably the best trip that I take.
Do you go in the summer? When do you go?
No, we go in like October.
Oh, really? Fall
trip. Yeah, when the big drums start running in. So we have a ball out there, man. We tried a new island this year. We don't like going to the northern Outer Banks. There's too many dang people up there, and like anything north of Hatteras is just a nightmare. Hatteras fishing is
jam.
Hatteras fishing is it's just jam packed. but I do like Hatteras a lot. I have nothing against it.
I've never fished out there, but I've been to Hatteras, and man, I love it.
It's gorgeous.
I wish it wasn't so far from Nashville, but
I know I miss Carolina beaches so bad. I mean, I guess I can go down. I don't even know what the closest beach is.
38.
38. Oh, that's bougie as can be. I don't fit in
Yeah,
down
who
there.
goes there? So tell me, how does, I mean, we really don't, I don't know anything about red fishing. I mean, I've been a couple times but like how, I wouldn't know how to like just go buy some stuff because I'm assuming you don't use a guide, or do you use a guide?
No. I mean, there's a lot of people that go and they'll go out kind of in the backwaters and they'll basically just float around and like see schools of them cast into it
so
kind of
you're
deal.
sight fishing.
Yeah, I mean,
those
guys are. Yeah, we're basically throwing off the surf and drinking beer on the.
So you can literally just fish off the beach.
Pretty much, man. I mean,
wow.
Bro, you can ride your trucks down like
oh yeah, you
those
drive your
pictures
trucks down and just kind of
yeah.
set up a little camp kind of deal for the day, and then
Dude.
yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not hard fishing by no means. You're just basically sitting there watching the tip of the rod go.
So you float fishing, or you're probably weighted down and just letting the leader kind of
basically. So you
minnows or what?
Shrimp?
Shrimp or a lot of cut bait.
What's the biggest one you caught?
I've caught a 40-inch, so that's citation at that point.
What? That's considered bull,
no.
right?
I mean, literally, what is citation? I don't know.
So okay, like if you catch one over 40 inches or 40 inches, it's a citation drum. So it's like a protected kind of deal.
Because you got a slot.
Yeah, there's a slot on them. So these
gotcha.
Because like small red slot is like what 18 to 27, something like that. That you can
keep. I think it changed. I thought it was 24, but I think it is 27. Yeah, I think so.
And then bull is anything bigger than that.
Yeah, bigger than that.
And you can't. Can you keep that or no?
No, you can't keep it.
Yeah, you can only keep slots.
You keep slot, and that's it.
How many you get?
Well, they allow you. I think it's one a person per day.
Mm-hmm.
So
slot fish.
Yeah, slot fish.
How you cook them?
We just fry them up, just like everything else. That's the only way to do it. A little mustard in the bag, you know.
Yes,
dude, how good does that feel flying in from wherever, chaotically trying to get there, and then going straight to the beach?
Oh man, that's the best feeling in the world, because then you feel like, I can actually just relax in this chair for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you're not worried about going to the next show. You're not worried about going to the next whatever you got kind of deal. And you can just kind of sit there, enjoy some time with family, because that's like, it's basically a family trip. We took old Colby with us last year. Nice. And I'm sorry, you can't see him, but that's my tour manager.
Caught a fish?
Yeah, he caught
of course he is.
I think a 42 or what was it?
Get us a picture going. Get us a picture going.
Yeah. So he caught a hammer this year. I actually went back because it started raining. I didn't want to sit out there. Colby was out there fishing hard.
Oh yeah,
like, yep, that's how it goes. That's how it always goes for me.
That's exactly what that lady was thinking when she sat in her chair. She was like, "I think I'll just relax."
Yeah, but dude, just like unplugging, but you're kind of unplugging and plugging in at the same time. Like you're unplugging from the craziness of that, but it's like you're plugging up and recharging yourself, man. It's like therapy without having to lay on a couch and talk awkwardly to somebody.
Without a doubt.
Look at that.
Sick.
That's a big fish, dude.
Yeah, that's sick.
Big fish.
Yeah, no, I think
What
Pop's got.
Is it on there? I don't know if it's no, it's on.
Was that your biggest one?
I think Cam's more excited than you are in that picture.
I know I was. Well, you had never caught one, had you? Yeah, that was his first one.
Nice.
So I was fired up for him.
We caught some in schools. We've done that sight fishing thing you were talking about, and
dude, when bulls run,
dude, that's a different. People go down there with fly rods. Could you imagine catching a big old citation on a fly rod? That would be crazy.
That's cool that you call them citations.
Yeah, that is cool. That's like an insider thing that I didn't know.
What do we always hear them called?
Bulls,
bull reds or something.
Bull reds.
Yeah,
dude, that's like the bigger one that you have to throw back.
Did you just miss that conversation we just had?
No, I'm just saying.
Talked about all that.
I mean, it's funny they call them. I mean, he's calling it citation. Like, I wonder if that's like a Carolina, Florida thing.
I don't know. It's probably just
it's cool.
Us thing.
I think it's cool.
But dude, when they blow up, when all the boats are sitting there waiting, and all of a sudden you see a boat just go, and then you see a football field size of just on top of the water. And they're like, throw in.
Yeah,
everybody hooks
wild.
up. But it is bizarre, man.
It is.
It's wild.
It didn't matter what we threw. Like,
really?
Yeah, one guy was throwing my dad threw a popper. I was throwing a spoon. Reed was throwing a spoon, and they were just. I mean, we were all like, no,
man. See, that's fun.
It was fun.
We were hoping to do that. So I was telling y'all we were at Key West, and we got on a boat to go tarpon fishing. I've never caught tarpon before, and I've always wanted to because it's big old sport fish. And man, so we get out there. We're going to catch bait. Starting to sit there. All of a sudden, hands start going like this. I'm like, oh no, what the heck's going on? Sun was baking me. I ended up going down on the boat. Had to take it on back.
Really?
Yes. So I still ain't caught a tarpon on.
You just getting cooked?
I was getting cooked, I guess, man. I guess I hadn't drank enough water. So
dude, I'll tell you, man.
One of these days I'm gonna catch a tarpon, but it wasn't last weekend.
We fished in Key West, and I have never been sicker in my life.
Really?
I got so seasick
that is the worst feeling in the world because you can't do anything about it.
It's worse. Well, I'll tell you what I did about it. I stripped completely naked. No. Cut my air down as cold as I could possibly get in my room.
On the boat?
Got everything as dark as I could get, put a pillow over my head, and went to sleep. And
it didn't go away once you got on land?
It started to chill out a little bit, but the 2-hour power nap pushed me on through.
Yeah. The trick apparently is to jump in the water.
What?
Yeah. Because it levels you out.
I just got seasick feeling right then when you said that. I felt my brain go like,
I've never been seasick. That sounds awful though.
Oh, that's the worst thing in the world.
It is awful.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It is. Don't go to Key West. I'm just kidding. Go. Just take a.
So you've been able to do one day of turkey hunting.
One day of turkey hunting. My luck this year on any sporting has been terrible.
Just walk us through that, man.
Well, it probably has to go. He went, and then it started raining or something.
And then he couldn't go, and then Colby went out and killed one.
That's exactly how it went.
And then they took a picture, and the camera's thumbs upside.
I'm at the house, yeah. Basically, we go out there. It's opening weekend. Get out there early. They're hammering. Good Lord, they're calling me.
Is this back in Carolina?
No, it's up in Springfield.
Okay.
Me and Colby have a lease out there. So,
where exactly? Drop me a pin. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'll send you my own.
Yeah, thanks.
Basically, we're going out there. We're sitting. We spooked something early morning, and then we didn't know if that was bird up on the roost or not. So we were like, oh, shoot. So we go and we sit kind of close to it, sit down, get squared up and everything. Dang, owl starts hitting. Turkey's just hammering. I mean, it sounds like we're surrounded, and we're like, we are about to get on it. It's about to be crazy.
Yeah, man.
All of a sudden, I just start gobbling really, really far. And we're like, oh, well, maybe they'll come back. We'll just keep hitting this call, and they'll come back. They never came back. So they walk off. We didn't see anything. We kept getting, there's like this massive field that we were so there's like an island and then a bunch of fields around it. So we're kind of tucked on this other side over here. So we kind of walk up to this middle island, kind of see over the other field out there. And the grass is a little high. And I was like, I don't know if they're going to hang out in the grass or not, to be honest with you. But we hear ghost birds. I mean, you hit it or hit a crow call or something, they're going to hammer out there. And could not find them. Save our lives. And then my grandparents were actually coming into town, so I had to roll by noon to get back.
You know?
Yeah, I know. It's always something, man.
The one opening weekend you got at home.
Yeah.
So they're
much
coming
love to
in.
the grandparents, though.
Oh, no, absolutely. It was good to have them around. So we walk out, and I kid you not, I'm unloading my gun and everything. Turkey comes flying, running right past. Big old Tom comes running past us.
As you're unloading.
Oh, yeah, as I'm unloading. So there we have that going for us. I just about pulled. I had one shell left in my gun. I pulled up, and then there was, it wasn't our field. So I couldn't do that. So walk back to the truck, go home, get home for about, I don't know, an hour or so, hanging out with the grandparents. I get a FaceTime call from Colby. I was like, yep, they definitely just smacked one. So my production manager was out there with us as well, and he had never been. Yeah. So he got to smack his first turkey. Hey, awesome. I'm happy for him.
Sounds to me like you just leaving them out there.
Of good luck happens when I leave.
You're facilitating.
You're leaving them out there for the other.
Making dreams happen. If you only had like one day to do anything, deer hunt, turkey hunt, fish, redfish, what would it be?
I love hunting a lot. I really got into duck hunting. I like duck hunting, but I think fishing is just what I do the most. And that's just like my personal, I love to saltwater fish. Anytime I can get out on the water like that, that's where I feel most at peace.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just lazy because it's easy to saltwater fish.
I don't think so, man.
Fishing is like we were talking about therapy, man. It's just good it's good for the soul, dude.
Yeah. I have to put it out there that like saltwater fish are better tasting than freshwater fish.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd agree with that 100%.
I hate to say it, man. I'm a crappie, sauger. I mean, I like all brim, bass. I'll eat catfish, whatever. I like freshwater fish.
Yeah,
man. Saltwater fish.
Oh yeah, especially. Have you tried triggerfish before?
I don't think I have. I know what they are.
Oh man, that's my favorite fish in the world.
Really?
It's real meaty, real thick.
Yeah. What's a triggerfish look like? What is?
Doesn't it have that long thing on the back?
Yeah, they got a long thing on the back. They got big old scales on them too. Okay. But once you get them off,
is that the black and white? Almost look like a zebrafish.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think
sheephead.
Oh, that's a sheephead.
That's a sheephead.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to pull a picture up. I don't think I've ever seen one alive.
That's what jumps is for. Yeah, you had never seen them. You just
like eat them. Never caught one. That's delicious though.
That's an interesting subject. Like, what is something you eat that you've never really laid eyes on?
Triggerfish.
Watch, it's gonna be big old bright red.
Yeah.
Flat.
Where? Tell the people where you're from.
I'm from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Home of Dale Earnhardt.
Hey,
wow.
Yeah. RIP3, dude.
Yeah, I know. Sad day. But
yeah. It's a little different than I thought, but yeah.
Not what I was thinking. Look how weird.
It's an ugly fish.
Look at his eyes way back up on his forehead. To a fish?
Kind of looks like that I'm gonna girlfriend of yours. Remember the one that big old head? That girl you dated with a big old head?
She probably listens. So that's just, yeah.
Did she kiss you on the side of the mouth? And you were like, does it count?
Yeah, kiss the other half.
8th grade. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't chill out.
We're 36 minutes in. We got to get into some music. Sorry. So Kannapolis, how'd you start singing? Because like, here's the deal. Let's just preface this, man. And I've said this. The first time we met you was in the studio, and you were
very true.
You were cutting Going There Today.
Sure was.
And back in the day. And bro, I've been saying since that day, you have, and I'm a singer. I love good singers.
A dang good singer too,
dude. Man. You have the best voice that has come through Nashville since I've been here. Ain't no doubt, man.
I don't know about that.
I promise you, and I've always said that. And that was back in the studio before you got to where you are today, and you're dang ACM Award nominee, man, and playing 100, 200 shows a year. But where did that start for you?
I started in the church, grew up in the church.
Amen.
Yeah, in choir. So did that. Then I grew up in a real small Baptist church. So like we thought we were going contemporary worship. And all that meant was just adding acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I know.
so I started learning acoustic guitar and like
playing a flat 7 every once in a while.
Oh man, the flat 7
that'll get the hands going up.
You get the hands up with the flat 7.
What was the song? What were the songs you used to do? Do you remember? Open the Eyes of My Heart, Lord.
Dude. Any Crowder.
Yeah.
Jamming.
Yeah, man. So I grew up.
I know you just go there for a second.
Yeah, you do, man. I just think about that church. It's some good times. A lot of good friends in that church. But so I did that and then went to high school, kind of figured out I really like music, started playing guitar more, started a band in high school. Terrible.
What was the name?
We didn't have one. We were just like, it was literally, so they like created a class for me because I didn't want to do jazz band. And I used to play drums, but I just didn't care. I wanted to play like music that I listened to. And I didn't want to hear Birdland. Like nope.
What was the music you were listening to and wanted to play?
I listened to a lot of rock music. Okay. I listened to just as much country music, but rock was like the alternative thing that I thought I was real cool.
Who was your band? Who was the rock? I mean, I did too. I was the same way.
So like I listen to a lot of Hoopastank, like a lot of that kind of era, but I also like to find new bands. Like, so I remember this band when I was there, they were called Catfish and the Bottlemen.
Okay.
They're sick. They're still sick.
Really?
Yeah, I still listen to them every once in a while.
See, my obscure rock band was Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, it's really deep.
Mine was Newfound Glory.
They were
Blink 182.
Yeah.
New Kids on the
Block. He was a
Block.
poser while we were rocking. He was posing.
Avril Lavigne. I wasn't posing. I was just listening to the.
He was a boy. I was a girl. Whatever that song is. All right. So you listen to rock music, you listen to country music, you start playing guitar in church.
Yep.
And then did you ever think like, okay, I'm going to make the move to Nashville? How did that come about?
No, because nobody really leaves Kannapolis. Like, you just grow up there, you live there, and you die there kind of deal. Like, it's just one of those places.
Kind of the deal in a lot of small towns.
Yeah, it is. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
No,
Nothing
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I ever wanted to leave, but ended up having this breakup thing, kind of like trying to feel my way around. So I started playing guitar a lot more and playing, and started writing and playing like small bar shows. Well, somebody had posted a clip of me doing Tennessee whiskey, and The Voice called me because I had my phone number in my Instagram caption because I figured girls would hit me up that way.
Because you weren't famous then?
We all did, bro. We all did. Just in case.
Yeah, just in case they just decided to send me a text. Yeah. Never did.
Or some creep out there. Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome. So they found me that way. They called me and was like, hey, would you want to join the show? And I was like, this is somebody messing with me. So I gave them my email address. I figured all my information was sold online, and got an email with an official voice, like the voice thing down in the corner. And I was like, oh man, this is real. And they flew me out to LA. So I went and did the show, but I started meeting songwriters out there, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, y'all just wake up and get to do music every day. Like, this is like a real job. And that just changed my whole life. I was like, okay, I've got to tap into whatever this is. I got to come out to Nashville and figure this out. So
who were the judges then?
It was Blake, Jennifer Hudson, Adam, and who was the other one? Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How'd you do on the? You should have won it if you didn't.
Yeah, who
I don't even
won?
know.
Who won if you didn't win?
Yeah, really. Like Stapleton.
Whatever.
Jesus,
I can't remember what
Samantha?
her name was.
Samantha. Sorry, that's Frozen.
Sorry, it's our joke.
Yeah,
Frozen.
yeah.
We got kids. So
You'll get
who
one,
won?
I don't remember. I truly don't.
Ariana Grande?
I kind of like turned it off after I left.
Yeah, I would have too for sure. So what did you get, top 10 or something?
Top 24.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What song did you audition with?
Funny enough, I auditioned with one of Luke's songs, One Number Away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a jam.
It is a jam.
That is a jam.
And
I
dude,
say it all the time. I wish that's the one for me. Like, because it's got that R&B thing about it.
Yeah.
That the three of us
Absolutely.
love. You know?
Cool melodies, good phrasing.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
and that
good.
song was a massive freaking smash too.
Massive.
So like, as soon as I like chose that one, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're definitely doing that." But what's cool is like when that episode aired, Luke actually FaceTimed me. So that was like my first time getting to meet Luke, and I was like, "Dang, well that's really cool of him to do." And I was like, "Well, maybe I should just go to Nashville and see what this is all about."
He likes his fellow North Carolinians, man.
Yeah,
He
does,
holds y'all
man.
boys
Which
close.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Absolutely.
So was that? Did you move? You got done with The Voice. Did you move back home? And you're like, all right, I'm gone.
I mean,
Well, I spent like a month back home, actually, it was probably about three to 5 months back home working my job back then, which I was selling car parts for like a local dealership. And it sucked. God, it sucked. And
Killing it.
yeah, just smashing it. No commission, just $7 an hour, just rocking.
Living the high life, dog.
Yeah, man.
You probably had some heat on you too from the show, like as far as momentum. I mean, people had to have loved your voice.
I mean, yeah, it was great. Like, and that's kind of what opened a lot of doors because, like, I started coming to Nashville every once in a while, and I'll try and get up there at least once a week. Like, my boss was super cool. He'd let me leave like Friday early. I'd drive down Friday night, go out, see some rounds or something, and then play something Saturday, try and write Sunday, and then home Sunday night,
Nice.
and then come back and do it again. So I was doing that.
Dude, that's a grind.
That's a 6.5 hour drive every week. And man, I don't know how my car ran like that all the way to make it
What
home.
were you driving then?
The old beat up Chevy Cruze, man. And
Nice.
I still have it. It sits out in front of my house. I left it in the parking lot for a long time. I thought somebody was going to steal it. Never did. But
Wanted them to.
Yeah, I really did want them to. And it's now it still runs. It sits out in front of my house, and
you just crank it
I
every couple
crank
of
it
weeks.
every once in a while, and it goes like a top.
Nice.
It's got like 400,000 miles on it.
Jeez,
Never going to give
Chevy
it up.
Cruise.
Never giving it up, man.
I feel that. I got a Tacoma sitting under a pine tree right now in my yard.
I bet it'll run forever.
It will.
Oh, man.
What does it have on it?
320,
316,
330, something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I went to a church called Elevation Church, and that's where I kind of like really started to like learn how to put a band together. I was a worship leader over there, and started meeting some guys over there and just became friends with them when I was younger. And we started playing like in Charlotte, and then after The Voice and everything like that, we started doing like shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shows for 5 people, but they were shows.
Yeah, sure.
Enough to be able to pay the band to come out there and get a hotel room.
Cutting your teeth, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting air mattresses down into the hotel because we couldn't get more than one room.
Been there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Been there.
So those are the guys that have been with me. I would call it since day one of actually like really trying to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that band they're tight now. They're really good.
How'd you convince them to make the move with you?
They never did. They still live in Carolina.
Really?
They do. Well, I got one guy that lives in Nashville now. My drummer, he moved. The rest of them, yeah.
But they were like, hey, bro, you go do the thing, and we're gonna be with you.
They drive up every week, so they're doing what I used to do.
drive up
every week for bus call, man.
Man, that's awesome.
I mean, they're dumb, but whatever floats their boat.
They can keep rhythm.
Yeah.
Good baseline. That's nuts. So like Sunday hits and they're like 6.5 home.
Yeah, every time.
Jeez.
Could you imagine that?
I cannot imagine that.
Yeah, imagine going from the iHeart Festival and then driving 6.5 hours
And
home.
then knowing you got to come right back on what, Wednesday?
Wednesday night. Back there by midnight.
They do.
Brutal,
living the
man.
dream, man.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
is.
Living their dream.
That is the dream.
Living their dream. So by the time the listeners hear this, your album will be out.
Heck yeah.
Keeping the Lights On, your new one coming out. What is it, May 31st?
Yeah, I believe so.
Listen to it this morning coming in. Dude, there's some smashes on
Yeah,
there.
thank you.
Some great songs. I love the one with Ella, dude.
Strangers? Yeah.
That's my jam, dude. Y'all sound so good. How did that come about, and how was that working with her on that tune?
Yeah, so basically, we were playing a show in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, like some random fair, and she was opening up for us, and she like, I love Ella. She's
great.
cracks
she's
me the
great.
heck up. So
Yeah.
we're just BSing over there talking and stuff, and she was like, "Well, you know what? We never wrote before," and I was like, "No, we hadn't." So go in there and start. We'll find a day, go in and start writing and stuff, and she was like, "What about a duet?" I never wrote a duet before.
Yeah.
So it's me, her, Chase McGill, and hold on, crucify me for forgetting
Will
his
Bundy.
name. Yeah, Will Bundy. Thank you.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I got you, dog.
And so
Pros
we
over
sit
here.
down and start figuring out these words and stuff like that. And it really flowed pretty quick. And of course, with Chase McGill in there, he's a dang good guitar player.
Oh,
So
yeah, he's great.
he was really helping this, like the progression and everything out, and kind of creating this different thing that I have never done before. So it starts off awesome. Then we get to go to the demoing process, and Will's asking us, and then we're trying to figure out all these, how to intertwine ourselves, because we didn't want to just do verse 1 me, verse 2 her, like
Right.
the standard thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a different layout.
It is. It's
different
very
structure,
much singing together the
Right.
whole time.
It is.
And
different parts, like you coming in
Yes.
and out of melodies and harmonies and
A lot of unison. And that's what stuck out to me when
Yeah.
I listened to it. It was like the unison notes. And usually my ears don't love unison because it's two different voices doing the same
thing.
thing, right? But y'all's really blend well. And it honestly, I don't know, who produced that?
Dan Huff.
Okay, so
Well, he produced, Will did the demo, and then Dan
gotcha.
cut it.
So whoever decided that it would go unison for a while and then break into the harmony, it really helps lift the whole thing.
Dude, we sat there for probably an hour and a half just trying different harmonies and melodies
Cool.
and things like that. And what we didn't realize, like we were like, oh, that sounds cool. But we didn't realize, like, because we're kind of like piecemealing it. And when we got it all done and tried to like figure out how to sing it through the whole thing, this is the hardest song I've got in my set to sing
that's
every
hard.
night. And then now, because Ella's not on the road, I'm having to do this thing by myself, which is even harder. So I'm like coming up with even different melodies and stuff. We did not make this easy on ourselves.
Do y'all
at all.
track her in or do you just sing the whole thing?
We tried that one time, And it
That
feels
seems
weird.
really
It
difficult.
feels weird.
Yeah, I bet
And
it
the
does.
crowd's also like, "Well, where's she coming from?"
Jesus singing?
Yeah.
They're like, "Whoa, she gonna walk out!"
Yeah,
she never does.
Never does.
Yeah.
So and so we've really made that difficult on ourselves. But all that to be said, I really love the song. I'm
me
proud
too.
of it.
You should be. It's a great
Appreciate it.
song.
Yeah, and there's some tunes in there that talks about can't get away from yourself, or you don't know what somebody's going through.
Yeah.
Was that a specific thing you wanted to touch on? Was that type of experience, and have you been there yourself? And
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this album for me feels a lot more mature. I feel like I grew up a lot over the past 2 years.
Mhm.
A lot as a songwriter, a lot as a person. Just like things were going on in town that I just had a lot going on.
Yeah, sure.
And was a little frustrated at times. And I think that builds you. Like the frustrations definitely build you to be a better person and grow a lot more. So basically, that song that you were just talking about, Never Really Know, I was up in Canada with James McNair. And he starts singing about this Miss Carol lady. And I'm like, I have no idea what the heck where this is going.
Yeah.
But I loved what he was playing. And we kind of just talked about like, how can we make this into something bigger and kind of make it deeper a little bit? So this song basically just kind of touches on the addiction side of things, and opioid crisis is absolutely terrible. So we kind of go into the addiction thing, and man, there's this time where I feel like in the days we live in now, like we don't even look up from our cell phones to even talk to the person at the grocery store anymore. And you don't know how much like just hey, how you doing can really do something for somebody. So we just kind of want to touch on, you never really know what someone's going through. That's the hook. So
great song.
Thank you, man.
Great message.
Mine was On My Way Out. I liked the bass line about, if you pass a pond, and I hope that fish is still swimming.
I know exactly where that fish is.
I was wondering if that was a real thing.
I know exactly where he's at.
Okay, where is he at? I gotta know.
He's at the Circle K Rodeo front pond in Rockwell, North Carolina.
So you got history with this fish?
I do. My grandpa actually lost that fish for me. And if he ever hears this, he's going to give me all kinds of help for it.
He probably don't listen to us. You're probably good.
He'll probably listen.
He'll probably listen.
Yeah,
what up, Grandpa? What up, man?
So he
sorry, Cameron's shouting you out right now.
I had
put him on blast. Put Paul on blast.
Man, no, absolutely. I had probably a 6-pound bass, 5-6-pound bass, great fish in this pond, farm pond, and get him right up to the bank, get him right up to him. He's like, get him in. So I'm reeling up real nice. And I've got him hooked just barely, like it's just kind of sticking right out of the side.
Yeah.
And he's like, goes down to grab it, spooks it, fish kicks off. Never saw him again. Yep. So that's a literal line from like your life. It is, but the weird thing about it is I didn't write the song. This was
you did?
no. But one thing I will say is like when I cut an outside song, I feel like I have to have lived it, and I have to identify with it. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, I know that fish.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure y'all had some of those fish as well.
Oh yeah,
bro.
There's one in Gunnersville right now.
Just swimming.
He's probably 17 pounds at this point. She is.
That's him. Is 21 years old, dude.
I knocked a 12-pounder off the. Like he came up and I was trying to net him, and as soon as I went to net as my dad, we ain't caught a fish the whole 3 days we were there, raining, the whole thing. Pull up to this pea gravel bank. As we're leaving, Dad throws a little square bill knocking on the pea gravel, rips this 12-pounder, comes out. I'm talking about Coke bottle mouth, dude. Gets to the boat, and as soon as I go to stab it, he jumps up, and I hit that fish right.
Wait, you got to clear up what stab is, so the listener doesn't think.
Yeah. Well, stab the net under the fish to net him, not stab the, not like go but
gaffing back, off the side of a
that'll go over real well.
Off the side of a bumblebee.
That bass community would, they crucify you.
But I hit that fish right in the lip, and that square bill popped off, and that fish jumped as soon as I hit it. So I'm sitting there with the net, and the 12 biggest fish we've ever seen in our life is out of net reach, just doing this, and then hits the water. And
I went, Reid, you knocked that fish off. And Dad went, no, he didn't. I was like, yeah, he did.
I was like, is that how it works? Like, is your dad very much favoritism over him? Or
there's a little bit of favoritism, but he's also just like protecting. He's just protecting his feelings.
No,
you know what I mean? So he was like,
I was also like 9.
So
okay. I thought
it was young.
You should have been netting the fish. You were 4 years older than me.
Too busy. Anyway,
not catching fish.
So he knocks this fish off, denies it for years. I mean, like I'm like, hey man, great job on hitting that game-winning free throw, but you knocked that fish off the gun, Nashville, dude. You know you did. He's like, no, I didn't. So anyway, finally one night, he's like, hey man, I knocked that fish off the gun. I know you did. I was standing there. You know? So now he's admitting.
That's also the same night I admitted to knocking the van out of gear and running over my mom with the van.
Your mom.
Yeah, she was getting. She ran around and tried to hit the brakes. I was like 4 in the door.
Reed was a punk ass.
No.
She's all good though.
Oh,
so
good Lord.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you have going on for the rest of the?
So that was just
Sorry, man.
It took me there.
This is really a freestyle podcast. You never know what's
I love it.
okay.
What do you got for the rest of the year? What tour are you on? Where are you going to be playing shows? Where can people see you?
Yeah, so we're doing a headline tour right now called the Strangers Tour, and by the time this thing airs, we'll probably be on the Keepin the Lights On tour, which is going to be a world tour, man.
Man,
and
where are you going? Where are you going?
All of Europe, maybe back to Australia. I'm not sure. I don't know if we have that completely confirmed yet. And then basically whole states, all the states. So it's going to be a long tour, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, man.
Australia's a different deal, dude.
Dude, we just got back from there. That was awesome. It's crazy how much they love country music over there.
That's what I was about to say. I always hear the fans go nuts over there.
Crazy. They're rabid for it, man.
And they
really
sing in their accent, which is cool. You know what I mean? I can't do the accent, but it's cool. I can't either.
But no, our first night out there, I was like scared to death. I was like, man, there's so many people out here. Ain't nobody gonna know these songs, and I'm just gonna like melt away. Like nothing's worse than going up there and just people staring at you. And like, I don't know who
do something.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, at least have a good time.
Who's drinking out there? You know, listen them up,
dude. They were nuts. Like it was one of the coolest festivals I've ever played. Like I had so much fun.
That's awesome. Well, congrats on everything.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Let's do. We do 2 things on the podcast at the end. We do the one that got away and Gravely. So let's get into the one that got away, and then we'll go into Gravely for the song. But so the one that got away, it could be a fish in Rockville, North Carolina, in a pond, or a deer, or a song, or a girl, but you're engaged, so don't say that. For you, Kameron Marlowe, what's your one that got away?
Oh, man. I don't think it's going to be a song. It might be. Last year, I sat in a blind with Colby. Everything happens with Colby. And we were deer hunting, pulling back on a nice 8-pointer, pulling back. I hit my release too early.
Oh,
Blop.
Shot.
Yeah. Hit my release. Arrow's gone. Never found it. Couldn't find the arrow. It was probably like 5 foot in front of the freaking blind. But
deer spook.
Yeah, spooked deer gone. So I'd say that's the one.
Was it on lease?
Different spot. Yeah.
Don't be telling spots. Okay. Sorry, I kind of jumped the song. We have a one that got away song, but it's all good.
Oh, what is it?
Well, he just played. Well, I'm sure that was important. What you just had to say. But it was that time that you just did for the one that got away. And then we usually go into that story, but
oh well, dang, my bad.
No, it was my bad.
It was his bad.
We it worked.
We just got to throw it in late. It's all good.
All right, Gravrit, which is like we married favorite and greatest into one word, made up Gravrit. Country song.
I love it.
For you, man.
What did Granger say? Like the one I want to go to the grave with? Is like one from the grave. We're like, no, it's nothing.
Yeah, he's like, they have to be dead, and I was like, no, man.
Well, I grew up on a lot of Keith Whitley, so I'm Over You. That's the one.
We had a Keith Whitley song, but I think it was
Miami.
Yeah.
Has anybody said I'm no stranger to the rain yet?
What?
I'm no stranger to the rain.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, but
we want it there.
Go for it.
Mike,
oh shoot! Sorry, I did it. Then I pushed it. What are we playing?
I'm Over You.
Okay.
Where there's a cloud, don't mean there's rain. And tears in my eyes don't mean there's pain. Don't flatter yourself while I'm over you.
Come on, man.
Things ain't always what they seem. You can't believe everything you read on my face. But I'm over you. This might be the lowest I think I've ever sang. No, you heard I'm drinking more than I should, and I ain't been looking all that good. Some folks told you I was taking it rough, but why are they making those stories up? I'm over you.
Bro, I'm telling you, the best. That's the best voice in Nashville, dude.
I don't know.
I'm saying it, man. Kameron Marlowe, dude. Thanks so much for coming on, hanging
You're
out.
a killer,
You're a
bro.
killer,
You're
man.
a killer. We love you.
You've
we
been a
love
buddy
you.
since the day we met you, and will be since the day we don't know you anymore, which will be never, hopefully.
Sorry, I played it in low key.
No, you get me.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank y'all for tuning in to the God's Country Podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Check Kameron out.
Check it out. Yeah,
Bring
May
on.
31st. Keeping the Lights On. Available now.
Available now.
Available now.
It's past
It's past May 31st. This is
in real
past.
lifetime.
Keeping the Lights On. Kameron Marlowe.
See you.
Thanks for hanging out in God's
Oh, yeah.
Country.